Have you ever wanted to be known for something, but that something is being the youngest woman to ever be in the execution chair? Well, today we're going to go over Christina Pike. Welcome, angry people. Yes, that's right. We're going to go over Christina Pike, the youngest woman to ever be in the electric chair or awaiting execution, as I should say. We'll get down to that. Now, let's get started. How's that, everybody? Uh, Christina Pike was born 1976 and to Christina Pike was born in 1976 to Carissa Hansen and Emil Glenn Pike in Beckley, West Virginia. Her parents were in a tremendous relationship, being only married for 2 years, divorced after a year when Hansen found out to be cheating, and remarried another 2 years after Hansen attempted suicide. Both of them were frequently negligent to the child, to Christina. An aunt noted that the infant Pike would be crawling around through piles of dog stool all over the house, and that Hansen wanted to keep partying. God, I can't believe I can't speak. Starting out this, this is gonna be a fun one then. When she received news that her toddler was experiencing severe seizures. Pike's parent, grandmother would frequently help care for her. Pike's believed that she was the only one that actually loved her. When her grandmother died in 1988, Pike made her first suicide attempt at age 12, for which she received little support. Pike's living situation continued to be unstable throughout her teenage years, as she was both the recipient and perpetrator of violence. One of her mother's boyfriend punched her square into the face. Criminal charges were filed, but then settled. They stated staying while staying with her father's new family. One of her younger half sisters claimed to have been molested by Pike, causing her father to send her away. Pike's additional claims to have been sexually assaulted and molested at several points in her time. After friends and family doubted these occurrences, noting that she had been a pathological liar. In one instance, a man phoned claiming that he was going to rape her. In response, Pike and a friend beat him with a stick in a parking lot. Although she had been bright as a child, her unstable home life caused her to be frequently changing schools, causing her performance in school to deteriorate. In 10th grade, she was sent to a juvenile facility for a year where she became interested in the Job Corps. Now, the Job Corps is a government aimed program helping lower income youths by offering vocational training and career skills. I know lots of people that actually done Job Corps, and it's actually a pretty good thing to, one, you get out of your area to go to a different location to work at, whatever labor they have. I mean, it could be like construction, which most of the times it's construction, but other things that you can find in the Job Corps. So check them out. In the fall of 1994, Pike attended a now closed Job Corps center in Nashville, Tennessee. Pike began dating a man her junior, named, God, I looked over at this name because it's ridiculous spelling and everything, but hold on. Tadaril Ship. God. And it's spelled where Tadarryl. Tadaril. That threw my dyslexia into the loop. Anyways, together they developed an current interest into the occult and devil worshiper. Now their crime. Christina became jealous for Job Corps classmate, 19-year-old Colin Slimmer, who has thought she was trying to steal her boyfriend away from her. Friends of Slimmer denied these occasions. Along with her friend, Sedona Peterson, 18, Pike planned to lure Slimmer to an isolation in an attempt to steam plant near the University of Tennessee campus. On January 12, 1995, Pike shipped Peterson and Slimmer signed out of the dormitory and proceeded to the woods, where Slimmer was told that they wanted to make peace by offering her some marijuana. Yeah, I said it like that. I know it's marijuana, but marijuana. I like that way better. Upon arrival at the secluded location, Slimmer was attacked by Pike ship while Peterson acted as lookout. According to the later court testimony, for the next 30 minutes, Slimmer was taunted, beaten, slashed, and a pentagram was carved into her chest. Finally, Pike smashed Slimmer's skull with a large chunk of asphalt, killing her. Pike kept the piece of Slimmer's skull. Pike began showing off the piece of skull around the school, and within 36 hours, the three had been arrested. The logbook showed that Pike, Ship, Peterson, and Slimmer left together, and only three returned. Detectives found the piece of skull in Pike's jacket pocket. Not okay. You get rid of the fucking evidence, people. I'm not trying to condone violence and horrible acts of humanity, but get rid of the fucking evidence, people. Anyways, soon after arrest, Pikes confessed to the police of torture and killing Slimmer. But instead, they were merely trying to scare her, and things got out of control. During the trial, the prosecution aided by evidence and Pike's confession. Pike's charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder on March 22nd, 1996. After a few hours of deliberation, I'm surprised I made it out with that one. Pike was found. That was one of my hard words. Pike was found guilty on both counts on March 30th. Pike was sentenced to death by electrocution for the murder charge, and 25 years in prison for conspiracy charges. I get the extra charges and everything, but it sounds ridiculous if you already get them charged for murder and they're already going to get the death sentence. So, but anyways, Ship received a life sentence with the possibility of parole plus 25 years. Peterson, who had turned informant, received a probation for pleading guilty to being an accessory after the fact. Following the guilty verdict, Pike launched and canceled and then relaunched an appeal for her conviction in the Tennessee state courts in June 2001. Then again in June 2002, against the advice of her lawyers, Pike asked the courts to drop her appeal and sought to be executed via electrocution. Criminal court judge Mary Beth Lebowski, Lebinsky, Stephanie Hawking, I call upon you to give me a extra reading on this one.
Leibowitz.
I was totally off. Granted, the request and an execution date was changed to August 19th, 2002, was set. Pike soon thereafter changed her mind. In July 8th, 2002, defense lawyer filed a motion to allow the appeal process to continue. This motion was denied. However, on August 2nd, 2002, a 3-judge state appeal court panel ruled that the proceedings should be continued and the execution not carried out. Oh, God, fuck those 3 judges. Sorry. But yeah. In December 2008, Pike's latest request for a new trial was turned down and she was returned to death row. With the denial, Pike's allowed appealed under the rules of prosecution in the state of Tennessee criminal system were exhausted. In May 2014, Pike's lawyer entered an appeal in the federal court system. Her lawyers sought a communication of the sentence from death to prison on the following grounds. In affecting the sentence to counsel, Pike suffered from mental illness and capital punishment as administration in Tennessee was unconstitutional. And a 61-page ruling by the U.S. District Judge Harry S. Manis Jr. issued on March 11th, 2016 on all grounds were rejected, and the request communication? And yeah, this is a fun one because I can't talk really today.
Commutation.
Jesus. Okay. Sorry, people, but sometimes my dyslexia just kicks up in a high gear. On August 22nd, 2019, after heard the same appeal by Pike's lawyers on October 1st, 2018, the three-judge United States Courts of Appeals in the Sixth Circuit panel ununanimously upheld the lower court ruling and denied relief. Now, on August 24th, 2001, Pike, with alleged assistance from inmate Natasha Cornett, attacked and attempted to strangle fellow inmate Patricia Jones on a shoestring, nearly succeeding in choking her to death. Jones had been serving a life sentence for 1995 murder of a 84-year-old Albert Coker in Knoxville at the time of her attack. Pike was convicted of attempting first-degree murder on August 12, 2004. Although it is a position of Tennessee's Department of Corrections that Cornett assisted in this crime, their investigation concluded there was insufficient evidence to charge her with helping Pike attack Jones. And by the way, it happens a lot in prisons. There's a lot of attacks, but sometimes you don't get evidence of that one. Now, she also had an attempted prison break in March 2012, and a reveal that Pike had made an escape plan involving corrections officer Justin Heffen and a New Jersey man named Donald Kohut. Stephanie Hawking, please once again grace us with your presence and give us an idea what this name is.
Kohut.
A Kohut. Though it has never been determined how exactly began, Kohut, who worked with a personal trainer and was then in his early 30s, entered in elderly 30s into a letter writing correspondence with Pike around beginning of 2011. By July that year, Kohut was making a close to a 1,800 car round trip to Fleming, New Jersey, to Nashville, Tennessee, to visit Pike in prison on visitation days once or twice a month. Eventually, Kohut committed a plan to help her escape and enlisted the help of correctional officer Helfen, who agreed to participate in return for cash and gifts. I kind of want to know what the gifts were. Hopefully we can get a limelight. I couldn't find anything, but I kind of really, anyways, because the Security Assurance Tennessee Department of Corrections had not provided many details about the plan. However, the eventually unsealed and documented laid out a scenario where a prison key would be traced and then duplicated. Early in 2012, the prison personnel received information about the escape plot. This led an attempted prison break being thwarted by a joint investigation involving Tennessee Department of Corrections, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and the New Jersey State Police. According to TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the plan was not very far along when uncovered, and the jailbreak was not imminent. I wonder if it's not really, just the planning stages. I know inmates, they get more time, but I wonder about the other people since it have not been committed yet. I guess it's just conspiracy to commit crime. In March 2012, Kohut was arrested and charged with bribery, conspiracy to commit escape, while Huffin was arrested and charged with bribery. Okay. I guess that answers that question. Officially, misconduct and conspiracy to commit escape. Pike was not charged. And it was unclear to the investigators if she was a participant in the conspiracy, other than being aware of it. On May 31st, 2012, Kohut was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The time to be served at Tennessee State Northeast Correction Complex. Huffin, who cooperated with authorities after his arrest, served no prison time, but was terminated from his job in the Tennessee Department of Corrections. Oh, God, Texas, fuck you up. Yeah, they throw the book at you for any officers that's trying to help out, break a inmate out. Now, her schedule of execution was scheduled on August 27th, 2020. Tennessee Attorney General Herbert Slattery. Hold on real quick. Stephanie, once again, bigger words are hurting me. Slattery's. Office requests Tennessee Supreme Court to set an execution date for Pike due to the COVID-19 pandemic in Tennessee and various other factors. Pike's attorneys were granted an extension by the court, allowing them more time to argue as to why Pike should not be executed. The state did not oppose the extension. On June 7th, 2021, Pike's attorney filed a motion to oppose the execution date and request certification of commutation. The motion was denied. Prior to November 2022, Pike had completed exhausting all of her appeal process. That's a thing for death row inmates. They always get a certain amount of appeals depending on what state. However, in November 2022, the state Supreme Court found that the state law of juvenile automation sentence to life imprisonment without a chance for parole was unconstitutional. See case state by versus Booker for complete ruling. Let's check this out and see how. What constitute this was the felony murder convictions emerged, and the trial court imposed a mandatory sentence of life in prison following a sentence hearing. The trial court sentenced Mr. Booker to 20 years for the aggravated robbery conviction to be served concurrently with his life sentence. Okay, I guess that's what it was. I was just wondering. On August 30th, 2023, lawyers for Pike used the November 22nd Supreme Court rulings, State versus Booker, in an attempt to reopen her bid to have her 1996 conviction and sentence thrown out. Pike's lawyer argued her young age and damaged mental health at the time of the killing should spare her from facing execution. In October 2023, Knox County Criminal Court Judge Scott Green denied Pike's request, saying in November 2022, Supreme Court ruling didn't apply to her. The Booker case addresses only juvenile offenders in Tennessee. And Judge Green noted the High Court, in the opinion written by now retired Justice Sharon Lee, specifically addressed the question of juveniles, not adults. This ruling appeals only to juvenile homicide offenders, not adult offenders, in the decision of the state. Pike, however, was a legal adult when Green wrote it. As of March 10th, 2024, the state has not yet executed, has an execution date for Pike. If Pike is executed, she will be the first woman to be executed in Tennessee in roughly 200 years. Now, that is it for this story, everyone. Yeah, it's kind of a quick one, but yeah, I understand the legal process of, what if the person was innocent and they didn't get all their appeals? I understand that, and sometimes very, very rare. And a lot of people are like, "No, it happens all the time." No, it doesn't happen all the time. It's publicized a lot and big time over time. But that appeals is a safety feature for when you have to execute somebody like that when they do or they're accused of a horrible crime. We'll say that. I guess it's how legal a little bit of legalese there. But yeah, that's how it is sometimes. You have to do appeals and everything. if there's like really damaging evidence, I think Ron Wright said it best. It's like Texas put in an express line for three or more people witnessed the crime. So, which if they had three people, anyways. One note on everybody that actually listens to this, and I'm surprised I've actually got more viewers on this. It's really awesome. Thank you all for actually doing it. Really, I really appreciate the time that you spend. I guess this is spending time with me. I guess if you want to do it. Thank you all for doing it, listening and everything. Even with the small amount and everything that I get, I appreciate everyone that actually does and comments and everything. I want to actually do want to address one comment I got on one of the episodes. Think it was the one with Jack Stevens 585. If you're listening, he wrote, and this is the only comment on that one. He wrote, "Glad I came across your channel. I think I'm going to enjoy it. Enjoy your work. I'm a huge Bob Ross fan because we got Bob Ross right up here. And have same stuff, Bob, as you. I take my Bob with me to all my oncology appointments. That's cancer treatment, cancer appointments. He is my best bud and good luck charm. Can't wait to dive in the rest of your work." Yeah, Jack Stevens 585. We'll just go with that. I severely hope that you get out of your cancer and keep on fighting there, buddy. Because if you're ever down and everything like that, message me and we'll have a conversation. I don't care. We'll be off air and not recorded and everything. But it'd be nice to keep up with people and make sure they're doing okay. I do that an awful lot. A lot of the people that's been on my shows I've contacted just is like, "Hey, how you doing? You doing good?" Okay. I on small amounts, I can do that quite frequently if I wanted to. It's not as hard. Well, if I get big time up there and you later in your if and when this gets really big, sharing with friends, liking, comment, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'll have a conversation with the person. I don't care. I've had conversation with really weird people. I'll give you a little bit of tidbit. I was I was taking care of a friend of mine's dog. I was just going in his apartment, taking him for a walk, let him do his business, and feeding him, and then going back. He had to go do something. Anyways, I ended up was about to head back to the car, and this guy just drives up. He's like, "Hey, is there cops behind me?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a weird request." Look behind him and no cops. I was like, "No, sir." Well, apparently he's a paranoid schizophrenic. And he's like, "I was trying to get on my meds and everything. I'm trying to do the right thing. My meds were running out and everything." And I was like, "Hey, buddy. What can we do to alleviate this problem? Because he seemed a little bit high strung right now." And he was. And it's more or less one of those things, safety for him and safety for the public. More or less safety for him because I'm pretty freaked out a little bit, but not entirely too much. But I talked to the guy. He's like, I think I got an appointment. I'm not really sure. We got this number. I was like, "All right, I'll call the number on my phone and talk to him." I gather all of his information and everything. Got his information. Phone called the place. They said, "Yeah, he's supposed to be here at X amount of time." So I told him, it's like, "Hey, they're open. They're waiting for you. Do you got everything good?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Make that appointment, brother, because you're seeming like a lot of distraught right now, and you don't need to be out in public right now." until you get yourself situated. He's like, yeah, I know, man. It's been hard and everything. I was like, yeah, it gets hard at times. Just every now and then, sometimes you got to talk to people and get them on the straightened path. But anyways, everybody, like I said, everybody, love you guys. Thank you for listening. Hope everybody's doing well and keep it good.